And we are live. Just another Wednesday live stream. You know, I like to do these every week, but I'm not doing this alone. I have two special guests. The first one, you've seen him before on the channel. I was recently on the episode of the Falling for Film podcast with him, and that is Colin Williams. Colin, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, just again in my bedroom. I'm sorry that you guys have to see me like this with no decked out mic and whatnot, but I'm moving, so things are kind of crazy. But just excited for another Q&A. Got nothing better to do, so looking forward to hanging out for an hour or hour and a half or however long this goes.
Yeah, these things are fun, so I'm glad to have you on, man. And making his first appearance on the channel is Jaron Williams from Jaron Talks Movies. How you doing, Jaron?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on this end either. I actually just quit my job, so I've just been kind of
really?
doing a whole lot of nothing. Job searching.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Well, if you guys are in the chat, definitely drop your questions. We'll be here for a while. We all have a ton of fun doing this, and definitely hit the like button. But I see Trevor from Film Geeks, who usually does these with me. He's on vacation right now. He said, have mad fun, boys. And he actually asked the first question. He says, thoughts on the Tax Collector trailer, new movie by David Ayer starring Shia LaBeouf. Have any of you guys seen this trailer yet?
Yes.
Jaron,
Did you see
have
it, Colin?
I saw like a clip of it, but I was at the mechanic for looking at my car and stuff, and I just saw it, and I sent out a tweet even before I saw the full trailer, and I said, imagine thinking Shia LaBeouf's a bad actor, because like people were crapping on him from like the Transformers or whatever, but dude, Honey Boy and Peanut Butter Falcon, I already knew he looked good on this just based off of like the footage I saw. So I didn't see like the full, like I have no idea what it's about. I just saw it's a Shia LaBeouf movie. I didn't even know David Ayer was directing it either. So
yeah,
I saw most of the trailer,
huge Shia
and it was
fan,
like pretty intense.
Yeah, I actually just watched it like right before we streamed because I saw that Trevor had asked this question, and like I love Shia LaBeouf. I always have since the Even Stevens days because I think he's a great actor. Honestly, he's in like Transformers, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I think the movie itself it looks kind of like a B movie, which is fine. I'm sure that another trailer might make it look better, but yeah. I heard that it has like a 2 hour and 40-minute runtime. Have you guys heard that on Twitter? I don't know if that's true or not, but that's insane if that's true.
That is pretty long.
Yeah. Long movies, but
yeah. I see you've got Abraham Diaz in here, Film Fanatic. What's up? How you doing? Film Fanatic asks, favorite performance by an actress? That's a tough one. Colin, do you have an answer that comes to your mind immediately?
Very
tough question.
The ones that are coming to mind. I'm just trying to think of like some of my favorite movies of all time. I'll go Meg Ryan and When Harry Met Sally, maybe.
Nice. Really, yeah, I need to see that movie. I still haven't seen it. It's on my watch.
Dude, it's one. I think it's top seventh favorite movie of all time, dude. That movie's a freaking masterpiece. One of my all time favorites.
I've never seen that movie.
The guy that did Rob Reiner, the guy that did Stand By Me and The Princess Bride and a bunch of other great movies. Few Good Men, fantastic director, and I think that's his best work with Harry Met Sally.
I think he might be the most underrated director ever. Like people don't give him enough praise. They talk about his movies, but they don't give him enough praise. And he's so funny in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he's also if you ever seen the show, the sitcom New Girl, really underrated.
No, I haven't.
I love that show. Yeah,
dude, that show's so funny, and he's the dad of the main character, and he's only on probably like 8 episodes total because he's the dad, and he's not really like he shows up for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, but he's
hilarious.
Yeah. Jaron, do you have a favorite performance by an actress that you can think of?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, to be honest. That's actually like a really hard choice.
No, yeah, that's super tough. I think Margot Robbie and I, Tonya was kind of almost snubbed of an Oscar win. I think she was the best that year. She was super good. That was like one of the most competitive years. That was 2017. I want to say that's the year that like Saoirse Ronan was up for Lady Bird and McDormand won for 3 Billboards, I think. That was like a wild year.
I was going to say also I love Laura Dern in basically anything, but I think Jurassic Park she was great in as well. And then I love Little Women. Florence Pugh transforms because in that movie you see her as a little kid, essentially like a 14-year-old girl, 13. She doesn't really look like it, but they sell it really well. And her shift in character and tone and her performance is off the charts. Not one of the best performances I've seen, but as far as some recent stuff.
Actually, I have one. I would go with Toni Collette in Hereditary. I think that was another one that was like really snubbed of an Oscar nom. I think she did really good in that movie.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and I'm not like a massive horror guy. Colin knows that. Like, I feel like we both say that we're not like demonic horror guys. That's what we always say on these streams,
Yeah.
which is true. So like, that's why I haven't watched any Ari Aster movies, but I've heard that she was like fantastic and definitely snubbed. So I might watch that one day.
His horror movies aren't demonic. I will say that,
really?
but they just don't really work for me. No.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Yankee88, what's up, man? I noticed that we follow each other on Letterboxd and we always like each other's reviews. So thank you for joining the chat. He asked Godfather or Godfather 2. And for me, I have to say the first Godfather just because it's got the iconic edge, in my opinion. I like them both a lot. Obviously, the second one has De Niro as a young Don Vito Corleone. So that's very interesting. It's like a little bit longer, too. I think that's like 3 hours and 20 minutes, I want to say. But the first Godfather takes the edge for me. Have you seen these movies, either of you? Colin?
I have not.
I saw the first Godfather, and I've never seen any other ones, and I love the Godfather 1. I don't know why I haven't seen it. It's just kind of life got in the way. But it was a time in my life when I think I was in high school when I saw it, and I was getting introduced to a lot of classic movies. So I don't even know if I even knew there was a Godfather 2 like at that time. Yeah. At that time, obviously I've known that for a while now, but at the time, the first Godfather is something I need to revisit because I've only seen it that one time, but haven't seen the full trilogy.
Yeah, I think I might do like a rewatch of the first two, maybe throw in the third because I've never seen it and make a video on it. I think that could be fun, especially since there's nothing new coming out for a long time. But, Yankee88 asks, which movie YouTuber do you think has seen the most films? For me, I honestly think Chris Stuckman is one of the most knowledgeable people, not only on the YouTube space, but ever. Like, he's seen like everything. If you watch his old Blu-ray collections from like 2016, he has like an insane amount of movies, and I can only imagine how much it's grown. Just his knowledge is crazy. Jared, would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree. That's probably my pick.
Colin?
Yeah, easily Chris Stuckman. Yeah. He definitely like you said with the Blu-ray hauls, but you look at somebody like Jeremy Johnson does like a lot of the popular movies like Chris Stuckman watches Parasite before it was cool. Like The Lighthouse, he was his favorite movie last year. I don't like that movie, but
no, I don't either.
proofs that he has seen the smaller stuff too. Yeah. And usually in his top 10, top 15 list of the year is always like little anime stuff or some indie thing that made like $50,000 in the box office or something. So he's seen so much great work.
Yeah, I want to say that the movie Burning, it's like a South Korean film. I think that was in his top 10 one year, and I was like, I've never seen that, but it's a movie that Chris Stuckman would definitely see and love. So got to go with Stuckman on that one. Max Talks Movies, loyal subscriber. If you haven't checked out Max's channel, I urge you to do so because he's got some pretty awesome content. He just put out a Blu-ray haul. So he asked, would you rather only be able to watch your favorite film franchise or your favorite director's filmography? Colin, I'll let you take this one first.
I got to go favorite franchise easily because my favorite director is David Fincher, and his movies aren't the most rewatchable. I don't know if I want to see someone's head in a box or not. You don't really get to see it, but that whole idea of movies like that, Zodiac Killer, The Social Network's really rewatchable. Fight Club's really rewatchable. But his other ones, I find myself watching them a lot, but you might get capped out after a couple. And the MCU or Star Wars or Harry Potter or some Fast and Furious, those are like, I pretty much just listed off my favorite franchises there. I would take over any of those films. I mean, they're not better made, but you got to rewatchability is a huge factor.
Oh yeah, Jaron, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I go with what Colin said. I mean, my favorite director is Alfred Hitchcock. So his stuff is good, but not very rewatchable.
Yeah, I agree.
With my favorite being like MCU, that's like some of the most rewatchable stuff out there. So I definitely have to go with that.
I actually just got a Psycho poster when I was at Universal. It's hanging on my wall right there. And I love that movie. That's probably my favorite Hitchcock.
I love it. It's so good.
It's so great. Yeah, everyone should watch that at least once, I think. And then for me, I'd also say franchise. I'd rather watch either the MCU or the Star Wars movies, especially the originals and the prequels. I could watch those on a loop as opposed to Tarantino, who I probably could watch all of his movies forever, but I'd rather have that like entertainment blockbuster factor for me. So Yankee88 asked best film trilogy. For me, it's always been the original Star Wars trilogy. Jaron, what's your favorite trilogy or best? What's same thing?
The best trilogy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a really big soft spot for the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, that's totally
There's
understandable. Yeah.
there's too many out there though. It's hard to pick a really like the definitive best one. That would be
Yeah.
my favorite though.
I know if Trevor was on here, he would be praising Lord of the Rings, so I'll give him a
Of
little
course.
shout out there. Loves Lord of the Rings. But Colin, what about you? What's your favorite
Yeah,
or the best film trilogy?
Yeah, it's the original trilogy for me.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. So I actually did a video on this. So if you guys want to look my name up, Colin Williams, I did my favorite trilogies of all time. One of my favorite videos that I've done, and I did not have Lord of the Rings on there. It's a hot take.
Yeah. Hot take indeed. Yeah. By the way, there's 15 people watching right now, guys. So definitely hit that like button and drop your questions down below because they're very fun to answer. So let's see. Yankee88 asked Pulp Fiction or Django Unchained. For me, it's Pulp Fiction. That was like the first Tarantino I saw, and it really just kind of changed the way I looked at movies. So I'd go with that. But that's not a shot at Django because I think that's a top five, maybe top three Tarantino movie. Jaron, I didn't you just pick up Pulp Fiction in a Blu-ray haul?
Yeah, I would mimic exactly what you said. That's my favorite Tarantino film,
Yeah.
and I think that Django is like probably top 3 if I'm being honest. But yeah, Pulp Fiction, I got to go with that one.
Yeah. Colin, what about you?
Yeah, Pulp Fiction, I think, is just the tighter movie. Django's fantastic, but it's got a little bit more fat on the bones. I think just gets a little long, but it's pretentious, typical Tarantino stuff. But I still really like it. Pulp Fiction, Pulp Fiction feels like Tarantino has something to prove a little bit more, and he really did it. It just was like one of those first movies I saw, and I was just kind of like blown away. And it just gets better upon rewatch. Like I don't even remember even being all that blown away with the movie when I first saw it. Like I remember seeing it, thinking it was good, not knowing who Tarantino was. I probably saw it in like middle school or something like that, and then I didn't really I like movies, but it wasn't like I was thinking all that seriously about it. But then just upon rewatching it, that movie ages like fine wine. And in Django, it was like number 2 or number 3 for me. Reservoir Dogs has always been my second favorite, and
Great movie.
And Django and Inglourious Basterds kind of switched between 3 and 4. And after rewatching Django, I would still give it 5 out of 5 stars, but it actually went down from Inglourious Basterds because I think Inglourious Basterds just is a tighter film as well, just like a little bit better made, whereas Django's a little bit more tongue in cheek and stuff. And for what it goes for, it's fantastic. But I think it was just a little long, but I still love it. 5 out of 5.
Yeah. I mean, Tarantino might have the most like perfect movies in my opinion. I don't know. Spielberg and Nolan are up there too. It's
I would say Fincher, like Fincher's work on The Social Network is perfect in movies.
Yes, it definitely is, yeah.
Even like The Wolf of Wall Street's like one of my favorite movies of all time. But that movie I think has a decent amount of flaws to it. It's a little repetitive in that second half, but Social Network is just moves and it just the dialogue.
It's never boring. Yeah, I love that movie. Let's see. Certain vid says he can't make it, but I think he sent me some questions on Instagram, so I'll try and get to those later. Yankee88 says Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or Matrix Revolutions. So Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for me, simply because I've never seen Matrix Revolutions. I've only seen the first Matrix. Jaron, it looks like you might agree.
I agree with you, and I have seen the Matrix Revolutions, but I think that movie is trash. I don't think King of the Crystal Skull is like super good either, but if I had to pick between the two, yeah, that'd be the one.
Yeah. Colin, what about you?
I've never seen Matrix Revolution, so Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I saw Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in a time where I was like a little kid and I was playing a lot of Lego games, so I kind of don't hate it like everybody else does. So I haven't revisited it as an adult in a while, but I was probably like in like 6th grade when I saw it. And I liked it. So
I like that movie too. I saw it with my dad in theaters, so it's got a special place in my heart. And I don't see the overwhelming hate for it. I think it's the weakest indie film, but it's still a good movie.
Yeah, and I will say Temple of Doom is the best Indiana Jones film. Facts.
I disagree.
It's actually not bad though. I went back and rewatched it. It's actually better than I remember.
Dude,
the whole first 3 are really, really great movies. I think it's one of the best trilogies.
1 and 3 go do the Nazi plot line, and 2 is just like means. I don't like mean-spirited movies technically.
It's dark as hell.
But it's dark. It's mean-spirited. It's basically just an FU to almost just the spirit of the first film, which I love the first one.
Hmm.
And I was, and then Shorty Round is like a scene stealer to Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
And it's just,
oh
my God, dude, it's so good. And it just goes for something different. To me, it's the most ambitious Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even think it's close.
I would agree. The Kali Ma scene, that's the last Indiana Jones movie I saw, because I was always like, I had some neighbors who were older than me, and they would always like freak me out about it. They're like, this dude gets his heart ripped out. So when I finally watched it, it wasn't as scary. But in my head, I had built this thing up of freaking me out. Like I finally saw it, and I was like, that's not that bad. It's kind of cheesy.
It's scarier when you're little, but when I saw it now, it's not bad.
No, yeah. Favorite heist film? Anyone have one that comes to mind? Because that's a kind of a loaded question. I'm trying to think of the normal answers. I know the movie Heat is a really great one, so I'll go with that off the top of my head. Heat with Pacino and De Niro. It's a great movie.
The Town.
Yeah, that's another really good one.
That's a really good one. Yeah,
I think The Town is better than Argo, which were both Ben Affleck directed movies. I think they're both great.
I enjoyed The Town more.
I think The Town actually, on the podcast to do with Ryan, we have a segment called Fallen for Film, or called Underrated, Overrated. Mm-hmm. And I picked The Town as an underrated pick one week.
It's very underrated.
It's a fantastic movie. And Rebecca Hall, who's in Iron Man 3, fantastic in the movie. But I'm gonna go classic pick. I'm gonna go Ocean's 11. I also really like Logan Lucky too. Logan Lucky.
I just watched that before the stream actually for the first time.
That movie is, it's great. The movie is really underrated, and the guy that directed Ocean's 11, Steven Soderbergh, directed Logan Lucky as well.
I haven't seen Logan Lucky, but Ocean's 11, man, that whole trilogy I used to watch all the time. Like it comes on TV frequently. You haven't seen any of them?
I haven't seen any of the Ocean's.
Oh man, I think you'd like the first one a lot. You got to watch.
You can't watch Logan Lucky first, bro. The guy that directed that directed Ocean's 11, bro. You gotta pay respect. Yeah, you gotta pay respect to that. Yeah.
The first true, I think it's one of the best ensembles ever for as far as the cast goes. Ian Bigwood, a longtime fan of Trevor's channel and recently subscribed to me, just made a YouTube channel, so you should check him out. Big Spider-Man fan. He says, hey, new YouTuber here. Thoughts on a Spider-Man multiverse with all three Spider-Man actors? I think that it's something that should happen one day. I think we've all talked about this a fair amount on our channels before, like on live stream and stuff on social media. And I think that it would just be awesome. A lot of fan service, and you could fix a lot of wrongs in the Spider-Man fandom. Jaron, what about you? I know you're a pretty big Spider-Man guy.
Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, and so this is like a fanboy's dream come true. But the thing for me is I don't know if it'll actually happen or not. It's one of those things I really want to happen, but I'm afraid it wouldn't. But
I mean, it's maybe in an animated version. I don't know. Colin, do you have any
animated? Yeah, probably.
That's the thing. Animated might bring like the voice talents back. Animated might be able to fully distinguish like the MCU from whatever that is. As a fan, of course, I want to see something like that. As a lover of film and like the industry of the MCU and stuff, could that break some of the continuity, or could it kind of fix some of it? I don't know. To be honest, I think like my fan version says yes. Like, yes, I want to do it. I want the confetti. I want it to be awesome. But the like logical side of me wants to like, let's kind of stay on track with what we're doing. But of course I want to see it. Like the fan still takes over in me. Of course I want to see it.
Yeah, it would just be so epic.
And they're great, and like, you know, all three of them I love as actors. I think they're all fantastic. And Andrew Garfield's probably the best actor in the bunch. I don't think that's close, honestly.
I would agree too.
He should have got nominated.
How much longer does he have on the being a part of the MCU though? How much does Tom Holland have?
I think he has
2 movies,
2 or 3 movies. Yeah,
they could always do like an extension on his contract and do something once he leaves the MCU.
Yeah,
I think it'd be more like possible.
I think so. Yeah, I think he'll keep playing Spider-Man after those 2 movies. I think that that's what he's known for. I think he's definitely going to keep doing it. I think they'll work out a deal or something. You know how they are. So this is a tough question from Max. He says, "What's a film that ruined a whole franchise that people would not agree with you on?" That's super tough, Max. You're always asking the best questions, man. I can't really think of any off the top of my head because Die Hard 5 is an absolute dumpster fire, but I think everyone agrees with that. So, you know, it's kind of like, it's tough. And I don't really want to get into the whole sequel trilogy thing because I don't think it ruined the franchise, but it's kind of like
I was gonna say I'll do the opposite. I think people say that Last Jedi, and some people think the Rise of Skywalker ruined the franchise, but particularly Last Jedi because that's kind of where the things kind of started to fall apart.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think it ruined the franchise, but I mean, I think Rise of Skywalker did. But people would kind of agree with that. No, it didn't ruin it for me because then I can watch the first 6 movies and then the Clone Wars and Rebels and Mandalorian and I'm fine. But I can't think of. That's a great question, but I'm trying to think of like
that's hard.
Some franchise because I genuinely don't know a franchise. No, I can't think.
No,
of
yeah.
it.
Max always asking the stump questions, but appreciate it, man. Yankee 88 says best performance out of the following: Jack Nicholson in The Shining, Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption, Leo in The Wolf of Wall Street, and Christian Bale in American Psycho. Off the top of my head, for me, I'll be honest with you. I think it might be Christian Bale in American Psycho for me, and I love Leo in The Wolf of Wall Street. But the lines that Bale delivers, and he's literally playing like a maniac. I think that I'd have to go Bale. I don't know why he wasn't nominated. I think that there was
because the Oscars are just
the Academy. The
Oscars they just nominate their friends.
That'd be my
political. Yeah.
Is it Bale across the board for all of us? I think it might.
I think so.
Okay, so. What's more near and dear to my heart? Leo and Wolf of Wall Street. Like that's.
I actually would agree.
Oh shit! Sorry, my.
You're good. You're good, dude.
Just holy crap! That was really funny. But my. Sorry about that. But American Psycho, like, his performance is just like one of the best I've ever seen. I actually saw that movie for the first time last year.
I did too.
Amazing. But I don't know. I mean. I'll go Leo just to be a little different, but it's just more nostalgic for me. But American Psycho is just, oh my god! The fact that he didn't get nominated it honestly almost makes sense because that's just what the Oscars does. Mm-hmm. They nominate their friends, same people every year. It's politics at its finest.
Yeah, the Oscars are like a fraud, honestly, and I still buy in. I still get hype. I still watch them and fill out like a ballot and everything, but I don't agree with a lot of their picks. I'll say that. Max asks, what are the next movies on your 100 movies list, and why isn't it Blade Runner and Blues Brothers? So both of those are on the list, as you know, Max. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to sit down, especially with Blade Runner. I've heard it's kind of like a deep movie that requires I see that Colin has it there. I'm just not interested in watching it at the moment. I've kind of been on a rom-com kick lately. Some lighthearted stuff I can watch after work. I watched The Wedding Singer.
Watch When Harry Met Sally. It's like the quintessential rom-com.
It's on the list.
That's the standard for rom-coms.
I'm gonna watch that soon. Maybe even tonight. And then if I do, you'll see my Letterboxd review. But yeah.
But Blade Runner, I will say I have never seen it. I just picked it up on Blu-ray, but this is the DVD. The Blu-ray one's the final cut, and this is the director's cut. So I have both copies.
I've heard the final cut's the way to go. I think that's what people say.
That's what I'm hearing. I've seen Blade Runner 2049, but not the original. I don't know why.
Yeah, I haven't seen 2049, but I see they're both on the list, so I'll get to them eventually. Yankee 88 says best supporting actor performance. Heath Ledger, I'm assuming, is the Joker. Javier Bardem, Williams. I'm blanking
Robin
right
Williams
now. Good Will Hunting. Yep. Joe Pesci, Christoph Waltz, and both of them, and J.K. Simmons. So. Those are like some of the best performances of all time. So I'm gonna have to say J.K. Simmons in Whiplash, but I will say Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting just hits home a little differently. Especially his relationship with Will in the movie, like that scene where he's like improvising and the camera's shaking. Like Robin Williams is improvising and Matt Damon's laughing his ass off. He's actually laughing. I love all that. And then he's like, I wasn't at the game. It's just like moments like that are great. So I'll go with those two. Jared, what about you?
I gotta go with J.K. Simmons too. Whiplash is like top 5 favorite movies of all time. It's hard not to say Heath Ledger too, but I think that I don't know. I just feel like J.K. did more. I feel like he just had more opportunity to really. I don't know. It's hard. That's just the one that I feel like in my gut I have to go with. I just love his performance so much.
Yeah,
I mean, these are all so great. Like, Colin, what would your pick be? It looks like you might have a little bit of a disagreement.
No. I actually really love Simmons' performance. This is a really hard pick. I mean, again, the nostalgia, just what performance I've seen the most, definitely Ledger, and that's the ones like I don't know if I could quote a lot of lines for what Simmons says in Whiplash.
I
A
can.
couple. I mean, I can, but it's not like with like Heath Ledger. I'm like, wow, my daddy was a drink. You know, I'm like full on like. So it's just something that means more to me. But yeah, I mean, Pesci, it's like which performance, like all of them. I guess he's always like a supporting actor in like all of his movies.
Yeah.
But I think the Goodfellas is probably my favorite performance, or Raging Bull. Oh my god, Raging Bull is incredible.
That movie is still so underrated.
That's on the 100 movies list, so I'll have to get around to that soon. It's on my list.
I saw it for the first time.
It's my favorite Scorsese film.
Wow.
I haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street though. So
okay. Yeah. Have you seen The Departed? You got to watch The Departed if you haven't.
I've seen The Departed.
I love
it. Like number 2 or 3.
I really love The Departed, but when people say it's their favorite,
it's my favorite
Scorsese movie. I'm always a little surprised by that. Not because I don't love it, but I always thought it was kind of clear. Wolf of Wall Street, Taxi Driver, now Raging Bull,
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas were better.
Have y'all seen Silence?
No, I haven't seen that one.
You need to see Silence. It's like really good. Nobody talks about that movie. I just think it's because not a lot of people saw it. But that's a great Scorsese film. It's like completely different than anything else he's done.
Yeah. I've heard that one's like 2 hours and 45 minutes, I want to say. Something like that.
Yeah,
which like all of his movies are, but I might have to get around to that soon. Movie Maniacs 99 says, new to the YouTube space. What should I do besides reviews? Like, how do you grow? Just do whatever you enjoy. I know that's like the most cliched answer that every single person says, but like do whatever you want, you know, keep it like movie based, but the tier rankings are a lot of fun. I think I've started doing those and I used to think they were dumb, but I personally think they're the most fun videos to do. And just like reach out to people and comment on videos. That's how I meet new people. Like, and then that's how you could start collabing with people. And maybe like when you get more subscribers, live streams is like the most fun because you can really build the community in that way. So do you guys have any tips for growing? Colin, you're probably the fastest grower out of all of us. You're on your way to 1K. So what's your advice?
I'm close to 1K, so I have some clout in this conversation, clearly. Yeah. Just kidding. I was figuring it out. I'm still figuring it out, honestly. But always like top 10 lists, I think, are always, especially when movies aren't coming out. And I was always kind of, rankings are always a good way to grow. That's just, I mean, if I'm being honest, my reviews don't do that great on my channel. They get about 100 views, but rankings tend to get more than that, like much more than that. I mean, my favorite movies of all time list got like 500 in like one day or something like that. So, you know, just stuff like that, like some favorites lists are a good way to start. And then just to bring in your personality, definitely Blu-ray hauls, live streams, maybe start a podcast. I know that's kind of a lot to ask, but that's a good way to grow. But with me is like, now that I'm kind of accepted movies aren't going to be coming out for a while, I've decided that I'm just going to do a bunch of rankings for franchises I haven't ranked before, because it's like, it's never like, because I don't know when the next Harry Potter movie is coming out, but I've been rewatching all the Harry Potter movies, so now I'm going to do a ranking. Just because
I believe I am too. Like, you know, I've recently rewatched them in the trip to Harry Potter World. I'm like, dude, I need to make a video on this. And
actually, if you wanted to do like a kind of a companion type thing, we drop it at the same time and say like, check out the other videos.
I'd be down for that. Yeah.
So I'm on part 1 of Deathly Hallows right now, so I don't know where you're at. But once I'm only gonna do the 8. I ain't doing Fantastic Beasts. I'm not ranking.
No, I've finished my rewatch, so I'm good. I watched them last week, so yeah.
So yeah, let me know.
Yep. Best year for film. I think I made a video on this, but I'll just spoil it because I really don't care. 2010, I think, is the best year film. Social Network, Inception, Toy Story 3, Tangled, True Grit, The Fighter, just to name a few. Those, and The King's Speech won Best Picture, of course. That's absurd. But Jared, what do you think is the best year for film?
I would have to go with 2014.
It's a great year, yeah.
You got movies like Interstellar. I think Nightcrawler came out. Whiplash came out that year.
Arguably the best year for the MCU too.
Yeah. Gone Girl too.
Winter Soldier and Guardians. That's a great year.
You can't beat that, honestly. That might be like the best year for the MCU because those are always in like everyone's top 10s. And
right.
Like the year's Infinity War and Endgame came out had like some stinkers. So.
That those two movies prove that the MCU could be more than after the Avengers.
Yep.
So like, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy is this. For me, I mean, those are both great answers. I'll give a couple more just years. I think 1994, you got Shawshank, Pulp Fiction, and Forrest Gump. All of them are my top 10 favorite movies of all
94.
time. So,
and The Lion King.
And
I did not realize it all came out in the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
that was my honorable mention in that video. Yeah, great
pretty
year.
loaded year. And then I'm gonna also say 2012. I think is great. You got Django Unchained, the original Avengers, The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark Knight Rises came out. I'm trying to think of some more that came out. So, 2013 was also good. You had Prisoners, The Wolf of Wall Street, Man of Steel, which I really enjoy. Her came out in 2013. As you can tell, I'm pretty good at movie release dates.
2019 was a great year too, like last year. We all know that.
Dude, I mean, Little Women, Uncut Gems, were like Portrait of a Lady on Fire. If you have not seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire, if you're in the live chat and if you're in the live chat and you have Hulu, watch Portrait of a Lady on Fire after this stream. It's a fantastic movie. Nobody saw.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we've got some catching up to do, so I'm gonna do like a little bit of a speed run here. So if I miss your question, I apologize. We've touched on some of these I see before, but AJ Reacts 2 is in here. Awesome YouTuber, guys. Check him out if you haven't. Favorite MCU film and DC film. My favorite MCU film is Endgame. My favorite DC, if you mean DCEU, it's Wonder Woman. It's Wonder Woman. Colin, what about you?
My favorite's Endgame, and my DCEU is Man of Steel. Barely. Wonder Woman is fucking so good, but Man of Steel, I think doesn't fumble a little bit in the end. I think Wonder Woman kind of loses its footing at the third act, but
it does a little with like the Ares stuff. Yeah, Jared, what about you?
My picks are the same as Colin. Endgame and Man of Steel.
Nice. Yankee88 says, thanks for liking my reviews. Yep, I love Letterboxd, so I'm always on there. Max,
I see Yankee too on Letterboxd.
Yeah, he's a great Letterboxd guy. Funniest MCU movie, I'd say off the top of my head, the first Guardians of the Galaxy, I guess. I'll go with that. Colin, what do you think?
Thor Ragnarok is just
that's funny.
That, and then Spider-Man Far From Home. I was gonna say Spider-Man Far From Home is really funny too.
It is, yeah. The line with Ned where he's like he gets caught. That's always funny. He's like, "Oh,
that's a home
porn."
That's
sorry.
Ant-Man is kind of funny.
I think Homecoming's funny. Far From Home is funny too. Yeah. Let's see.
Ant-Man when they're playing with the Thomas the Train Engine and having a fight there.
Yeah.
That's really hilarious.
Let's see. I'm gonna skip some of these here, guys. So if I don't get your question, I apologize. Fast 6 or Fury 7? I'm not crazy about this franchise, honestly, but I'd probably say Fury 7 just because of the little Paul Walker tribute at the end. But I still I don't rewatch these movies that much. Colin, I know you love this franchise, so you go ahead and have the floor.
I think Fury 6 is fantastic, but I think it's almost forgettable because it's sandwiched in between Fast 5 and Furious 7, which are the best of the franchise, in my opinion. And then Fury 7, the Paul Walker tribute's great. Yeah. The whole scene where they get out of like the helicopter or the plane or whatever with all their cars, and just the Paul Walker stuff just hits you in the feels, dude. I got 7 easily, even though 6 is great, but it's a little forgettable between the two best movies of the franchise for me.
Yeah. Jaron, what would your pick be?
I would agree. 7 all the way. That's actually my favorite Fast and the Furious movie.
Nice. Yeah. We have 19 people watching, guys, so thank you very much. Definitely hit the like button and keep on dropping your questions. I'm going to do a little speed round here, like I said, so let's see. Movie you cried the most while watching? For me, it honestly might be Onward. That movie made me really cry, but Forrest Gump as well. Colin, what about you?
The Perks of Being a Wallflower and Forrest Gump, but The Perks of Being a Wallflower, I cry the whole movie. I don't even watch it. I can't even see the whole time because I'm crying the whole movie. But.
And Jaron, have you ever cried?
Have you guys seen the movie Bridge to Terabithia?
I've heard of it, and I know what happens, so I know what you're.
This is such a weird pick, but that part that I guess you know what I'm talking about. That part tore me up as a kid.
Yeah. Wonder too, who's the director of The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, I cried.
There's so many sad movies. I don't want to talk about.
There is really.
What are your thoughts on Taxi Driver? I think it's top 3 Martin Scorsese and De Niro. Yeah. It's fantastic in that movie. You guys agree?
Yep.
Best Toy Story movie. For me, it's clearly Toy Story 3, but 1 is an extremely close second. I love that movie. I love them all. 4 I don't love as much, but I still think they're all really good. Colin,
3
what's
is my
your favorite
as well.
Jaron, your favorite's 3. Colin, your favorite?
3. I think the only one I think's not perfect is 4. Not a big fan of 4.
Yeah.
I still like it, but it's not as good as the first 3.
Max Talks Movie says best moment in a Pixar film that doesn't have a sequel. So the one that comes to my mind is Ratatouille because it doesn't have a sequel. And the best moment in Ratatouille, it's probably the flashback at the end when Anton Ego bites into the Ratatouille and he's taken back to his childhood. And then the whole ending, I think it's a very feel-good ending, and I love it. So I'll go with that. Jaron, what about you?
Inside Out when Bing Bong dies.
Oh, that hurt.
I think that was good. That's another sad moment right there. I didn't cry, but yeah, that's one that comes to mind.
Yeah, it gets the tears going though. Like I didn't cry, but I almost did. Colin, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna mimic Jaron, dude. That's like this is Inside Out's I think Inside Out's my favorite movie that doesn't have a sequel. I think Ratatouille might be up there, but I think Inside Out might just edge it up a little bit. I'm trying to think of any. No, not the.
You mean Brave is not your favorite?
No. Up isn't as high as Up and Wall-E.
I totally forgot about Up, dude. The opening with Married Life, that's the name of the track by Michael Giacchino. It does bring me to tears every time I watch it, and I think the rest of the movie continues. I know that people say it doesn't. That's totally cool. I love Up. I think it's my 3rd or 4th favorite Pixar. I love that movie.
Same here.
Got nominated for Best Picture.
It did, yeah, and then Toy Story 3 the next year. So that Pixar had 2 back-to-back Best Picture nominations. Celebrity crushes. For me, I love Margot Robbie, dude. I have the poster for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at my apartment in my room, and it's over my head at night, so she's guarding me. And Cliff Booth and Rick Dalton as well, so I love them. Colin, what about you?
Yeah, I mean Margot Robbie's definitely up there, but Ana de Armas it's hard to beat her, and then Elizabeth Olsen is just
Scarlet Witch herself.
So great. Yeah.
Those are actually my top 3.
Yeah, we have 25 people watching right now. So thank you very much, guys. That's awesome. I think that's a record for me, at least, maybe. So let's see. Max Talks Movies. Worst grade you've given to a movie that you've done a video review for. So I have only been reviewing movies on the channel since June of like a year. And I think it was The Rise of Skywalker. I gave it like a 5 out of 10. Jaron, what about you?
This is back when I was doing letter grades, but last year The Fanatic came out, and I gave that movie just a straight up F.
Yeah,
I never saw that one. Colin, what about you?
I mean, I started this channel in 2020, so I haven't reviewed as many movies that came out this year. So, I've only given 1 F, and it was Artemis Fowl. The movie's just absolute garbage. The second lowest I think I gave was a D, and that was Capone. I was not a fan of Capone.
Yeah, I skipped both of those. I almost watched Artemis Fowl. I wanted to see if it was as bad as everyone said, but then I saw a scene of like Josh Gad like opening his mouth like on Twitter, like his jaw or whatever. I think that was Josh Gad, and I was like, not for me.
Yeah.
Cam is in here, my girlfriend. How you doing, Cam? Glad.
Hey, I met Cam.
Yeah. Colin knows Cam. And we had ice cream. It was good ice cream.
Yeah, me and Chris met each other, dude. This is
I saw the Falling for Film podcast today, and you guys like brought that up like 5 times. It was hilarious.
we could, every time I'm like, me and Chris, we talked about this because we met each other.
We met each other. That's funny.
Just making Ryan jealous.
Yep. Spider-Man 2002 or Far From Home. Spider-Man all day. I think that's like. I'm about to rewatch the Raimi trilogy, so I know certain vids will be happy, but I think Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man movie, period. Jaron, what about you? You're another big Spider-Man guy.
I love both of these. I don't know if it's a recency bias, but I think I got to go with Far From Home. I just love everything about it, and like it switched up a lot of things. The effects are great, and like Gyllenhaal's my favorite actor, so him being in that film, it kind of bumped it up for me.
Yeah. Colin?
This one's tough for me because Spider-Man 2 has always been number 1, but Spider-Man, I'm such a defender of the Raimi trilogy. Yeah. Like I love all 3 movies, all 3, including the third one. All of them.
Same here.
So it's tough, but I really love Far From Home. Spider-Man's a little dated, but I think it's kind of the charm of it. Honestly, I'll go Spider-Man just because it's so close to my childhood. But Far From Home, there's certain aspects of that movie that are much better than Spider-Man in my opinion. But but Spider-Man, just the nostalgia and then the score. I think Danny Elfman's score just takes those movies
so
and just makes them so much better than any Spider-Man movie. And it's not even not even close.
Dude, Danny Elfman, underrated composer, because he's done the classic Batman score from like the 80s and this original Spider-Man score. And then the thing that puts Spider-Man over the edge is Green Goblin. I love Green Goblin as a villain.
Yeah, I love Mysterio too. Though Mysterio might be one of my favorite villains.
Vulture too, man.
I think pretty much all the villains except for Venom and all the Spider-Man movies have been decent. Except, actually, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I kind of forgot that movie exists. All the villains suck in that movie. But even even Lizard, I didn't hate. I didn't hate Lizard. But I don't like that movie very much. But he was kind of bland. There's nothing super interesting. But he was gave a good performance, and there was a decent amount of depth, but it wasn't crazy. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 is bad villains all across the board.
Nope.
I know that Jaron disagrees strongly. Have you guys seen Aliens, and do you like it? I watched both these for the first time, Alien and Aliens, like a few months ago, and Aliens is a really great action movie. It's one of the better action movies ever, and I think it's crazy that they went from the first one directed by Ridley Scott to the second one, which was James Cameron. He brought his action sci-fi twist to it, throw in Bill Paxton, and it's a great time. Have y'all seen Aliens?
I love it. I think it's better than the first one, just by a little bit. I go back and forth on them, but I love it.
Yeah.
So the only David Fincher movie I haven't seen is Aliens 3, and I haven't seen the first two Aliens. So when the new David Fincher movie comes out, I'll rewatch all his movies, including Aliens 3. But of course, before I see that, I'll watch Alien and Aliens, which I've never seen. I mean, I have clips in here and there. Not the door.
You lagged a little there, I think, but we heard most of it, I believe. Also, there's 31 people watching right now. There's 31 people watching. So if you're watching, just definitely consider liking the live stream. It helps out in the algorithm. I always joke about that with Trevor. The word algorithm is so weird. But definitely keep dropping your questions. We're going to play some catch up here. And I'm probably going to skip some just so I can try and get up to date because we're a little behind. Let's see. What do you guys use to download clips or videos? I actually just usually end up screen recording them on my phone and airdropping them on my computer.
Oh my God,
like
don't
super.
Do that. That takes
a long time though.
Dude, don't do that.
But Trevor recently told me about this MP3 something. I used it and it was a lot better. But it was like kind of sketchy. Like I thought I was gonna get a virus on my computer, but I did that, and I haven't used footage in a while. But that's what I did last time. So yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, I use YouTube to MP4 HD. I like to download the good quality. I use that. It's good. The only problem with it is it's an HD one, so they're like it's a little bit harder to. Will sometimes say it's copyright.
Yeah.
And the other one that has shittier quality won't but I'm like, I don't want the I want.
Yeah.
So I have to sometimes find on YouTube like reposted like trailers from like trailer YouTube pages that like post trailers and not necessarily from like Disney or Warner Brothers or something like that. So it's a little tricky, but I do some finessing. If not, I'll just do pictures.
Yeah. Best song in La La Land. For me, it's A Lovely Night, which is the one that they sing and dance to when the sunset's happening there by the bench. I think it's probably my favorite scene in the movie as well, but City of Stars is awesome. Jaron, what about you?
It's either A Lovely Night or City of Stars. I like that. I actually really like the song with John Lennon too. It's completely different than the rest of the songs, but I still kind of like that one.
I don't know the name of that one because it's the one I listen to. Police,
but I think it's Start a Fire.
That's what it is. Yeah, we can start a fire. Yeah, that's good. What about you, Colin?
I haven't watched this movie in so long since it came out in theaters. I know I need to get on it, but I always like that like opening one with like they're in a traffic jam. I don't know the name of
Another Day of Sun. That's
Another Day of Sun. I like that one. That's the one that's the most memorable right now. But I was like really sick when I saw that movie, so I was just like fuzzy and just I haven't seen it since.
MCU, by the way, DCEU or MCU? I'd go MCU. It's not MCU. Without even thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, DC. No, MCU. It's not close.
Yeah, not at all. Better movie ending: Departed or Prestige? No spoilers.
I haven't seen
that. I love both these movies so much.
The Prestige in a while.
I have to go with if we're talking like the final 20 minutes, I'll go with The Departed because that's insane to me.
Yeah,
The Departed. My jaw was just like.
I was like, no way. Yeah, and The Prestige at the same time kind of did the same thing. It was a little.
I felt so bad for a certain character.
Yeah.
But The Departed, I was like, oh, I did so much hard work, and now it's over.
Yeah. Let's see. Favorite movie of all time. Do you guys want like? I'll just say it's Whiplash at the moment, but like I don't even like pinpointing favorite movies because I love so many different ones. But I'll go with that at the moment. Good Will Hunting is crawling closer to that top spot though. Jaron, what about you?
Whiplash, Shawshank's up there. I recently saw Inception. That could take my place. It's hard to pick one right now, but one of those.
Yeah, I love all the movies you guys just mentioned. I'll go Empire Strikes Back though. Wolf of Wall Street, Social Network, Pulp Fiction, When Harry Met Sally, up there as well. So.
Yeah, all great.
When Harry Met Sally, I'd recommend out of the most because of just not enough people have seen it.
Yeah. Cam says she wishes she was in the live stream. Well, we actually have a video planned, so she'll be on the channel again soon. Fanatic Films, formerly Fanatic 15, a great YouTuber, and I've watched his stuff for a long time. Glad to see you here, man. Glad to see you here. Let's see. A lot of people asking for Cam, I guess, from her TikTok following. I expect nothing less. Let's see. A lot of love for Cam here in the chat.
I see it, yeah.
Is there even any question? Okay, there you go. Best Bucky moment. I think that I like the highway fight scene when he does the knife.
Yeah,
that's the coolest for me. I've always liked that the most, probably. Colin, what about
you? Best Bucky moment. I mean, this would probably be an underrated one, but one that's coming to mind is when he helps Steve in the beginning of First Avenger and kind of just kicks that dude's ass. I like that one.
Yeah. I lost my place in the chat because it's kind of getting spammed right now. So 1 second. Sorry, guys. Yeah, don't spam the chat. I know that you want to see Cam, but she'll be in future stuff. I'm literally just gonna pick something random. Let me check real quick. Sorry, guys. Trying to find a question.
Yeah,
they want Cam. You know what, Cam? You should make a YouTube channel, and then all these people that are asking to watch you can go watch you there because I do think that it would do great, honestly. Let's see. Have you seen The Abyss? No. Is James Cameron related to this film? There was a movie I want to call maybe Sanctum, and he produced it. I want to say. Has anyone heard of either of these? Have you seen The Abyss, Colin?
I haven't. I know James Cameron, I believe, directed it.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I don't either.
So I can't answer that. Max Talks Movies. Great animated movie with bad animation and bad animated movie. Okay, with great animation. So what's a great animated movie with poor animation? So
Monster House.
Monster House. I remember watching the trailer for that all the time, but I haven't seen it. Is the animation
Monster
not
House
the best?
It's piss poor, dude.
It's weird, but the story is actually good in my opinion. I think it's produced or directed by Spielberg. It's really good.
Yeah, I remember seeing his name attached to that, but I have a clear answer for the next one. Bad animated movie with great animation. It's got to be Brave. The movie Brave is
I hate that movie.
It's the passion. Yeah, like it's so bland, and the story is extremely forgettable. With I'm pretty sure like some people turn into bears in that movie, like black bears. I like grizzly bears or something. Like why is that? Why is that a plot?
It kind of feels more like a DreamWorks movie.
Yeah, Colin, what do you have an answer for that next one? Do you like Brave, Colin?
I'm not a big fan of Brave, but I'll go Boss Baby. That movie sucks, and it was nominated for Best Animated Feature actually.
Yeah, did it win? Did Brave win? Does anyone know if Brave won? I think it won over Wreck-It Ralph if it was 2012.
It could have, which is dumb because Wreck-It Ralph is way better.
Yeah, I love Wreck-It Ralph. I cannot stand Ralph Breaks the Internet. I've talked about that like a few times, but yeah, Wreck-It Ralph should have won over Brave. And I'm searching for questions. Yeah, I know you guys want to see Cam, but she's not going to be on their day, so just please. Don't spam the chat because it makes it difficult to find questions. But thank you for the support. What is the worst superhero villain? that's a very tough question because there's a lot. But for me, I'd say in a movie, I don't really care for Mr. Freeze. I think he's a great villain, like from the video game and even the backstory I've read. But if we're talking like a movie portrayal, Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's so cheesy, and I can't stand that. Colin, what you look like you had an answer. So what about you?
You know, one I can't stand. I have no idea why people like it. I don't know the actor that plays it, but the Penguin in Batman Returns, I hated him as a
Danny
kid.
DeVito.
Oh my God, I hated Danny DeVito. I didn't even know Danny DeVito played the role. Yeah, hated that performance. But I don't like Electro and Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Jaron, what about you?
The elves in Thor: The Dark World. It's not that they were terrible. I don't know if they were terrible. It's just they're not memorable at all. So that's what I have to go with.
Fair, yeah. Malekith is the main one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You said, yeah. He's like flamed by everyone as the worst MCU villain. He probably is, honestly.
I don't remember anything about him. Anything.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's why I picked him.
Yeah. Film Fanatic says favorite performance by actors. Mine's Lester Burnham, played by Kevin Spacey. Yeah, that's from American Beauty, and it's kind of taboo to talk about Kevin Spacey, but it's a fantastic performance, and that movie's actually pretty good too. But the main lead actor performance is kind of my mind. Sean Penn in Mystic River. Whew, he's a force to be reckoned with in that movie. So there's obviously more ones that are more famous, like Leo and Wolf of Wall Street, but I'll go with Sean Penn right now off the top of my head. Do you have any, Colin?
As far as Sean Penn movies, I'd recently rewatched The Fast Times at Ridgemont High. If you guys haven't seen that movie, anybody in the chat, watch it. I got his Funko Pop as Jeff Spicoli.
I like
awesome
that pop.
Funko Pop. That's one of my favorite. I actually got 3 new pops. Actually, one of them's right here. Jon Snow from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I also got Hulk, Professor Hulk, and he's holding some tacos, and then Korg. He's playing video games with a Hawaiian shirt on. So that one's pretty sweet. I'll go Leo and the Wolf of Wall Street.
Fair. Jaron, did you say one yet, or do you?
I gotta go. No, I gotta go. Jake Gyllenhaal and Nightcrawler.
Underrated. Yeah. Again, what was the Academy on? I don't know. They've missed so many.
He didn't even get nominated for that.
No, didn't even get nominated.
It was weird too, because Nightcrawler felt just like an Oscar movie too. It's like
it did.
Exactly. I have no idea what happened there. It's crazy. It's crazy. What do you think about Loki and Bucky? I think Loki needs to stay dead. I like him, but like his time has passed. And sure, the TV show is going to make him money and all that, but I don't know if I really care, honestly. Like, I know that's kind of unpopular, but I think that his story's wrapped up. As far as Colin, what are your thoughts on Loki? We'll do Loki, then Bucky.
Loki, I don't think he's evil or as good of a villain as I think we like to give him credit for. Like, he gets his ass kicked in the Avengers, and he's becomes kind of an anti-hero by the end of it. So I don't think he's just as cool a villain as maybe he once was. To me, I actually prefer Ultron. In certain instances, I think he's just more menacing. I just buy him as literally. I'm more scared of Ultron than I am of Loki. That's just what it boils down to. So I mean, he's really great. Thomas Wilson's fantastic in the performance, but I almost like him as an anti-hero more than a villain, because I think a villain, he literally is laying on the ground and goes, "Oh," because the Hulk kicked his ass. I don't know if I want a villain like that.
Yeah. Jaron, what are you? Go ahead.
I would kind of agree with what you said. His time has passed. I mean, they kind of teased too many times of him dying and then coming back, and I think the main thing that he was there to accomplish is done. They just need to move on.
Agreed. And then Bucky, I like Bucky. I think that he hasn't had his time to shine. I don't think he's an amazing character though. I don't think he's top tier Marvel. I think he's a solid supporting character who's hasn't had his time to shine yet. Do you guys agree, or do you have any different takes on Bucky?
I agree. Falcon and the Winter Soldier will change that.
Yes, it will. It will.
I've always had a soft spot for Winter Soldier, but
yeah, I mean, a lot of people do, at least in this chat and around the world, it seems like, because they're getting a TV show. Favorite movies so far this year? The Invisible Man, Onward. Those are my top 2 right now. Colin, what about you?
Yeah, it's The King of Staten Island, easily.
Yeah, I know you love that movie. It's really good. It's really good.
And then The Invisible Man, but I think The King of Staten Island did something so great so great. It captured just something really awesome.
Yeah, Jaron, what about you?
I'd say for me, The Invisible Man, #1, The Way Back, right behind it. I haven't seen King of Staten Island.
Oh man, you got to watch
I think the
it.
way
It's really
back.
good.
I think the way back is a little overrated in my opinion. It was good,
Overrated?
but yeah, I think The Five Bloods is overrated too. I think the way back, I just wanted more of a sports movie, and it gave me a Ben Affleck dealing with alcoholism, and I think they did a great job with that. But I just kind of was looking for a good sports film. But for what it gave me, I think it did a good job.
Yeah.
I missed The Way Back. I need to watch that soon. I've heard mixed things on it, but I think I would like it. I like Ben Affleck. I like Gavin O'Connor, especially Miracle.
Yeah.
Let's see. Favorite Marvel character, Jaron. Who's yours?
Favorite Marvel? Is this talking about like Marvel in general? Because Spider-Man.
Yeah, we lost
MCU.
Colin for a little, but we're good. You can keep going.
Okay. If it was MCU, I'd have to go with Iron Man just because I think he has the most complete arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my picks.
Iron Man all day. I love Iron Man. And I think Colin's back. Yeah, there he is. Can you hear us, Colin?
Yeah, I refreshed the page because I'm just super laggy. I think I still am, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good. Iron Man's my favorite Marvel character. Who's yours, Colin?
Yeah, it's Captain America, 100%.
Yeah.
Team Cap all the way. I think he's got the best arc in the MCU.
Yeah, I love it. I think that both of them have perfect arcs, and it's just massively crafted. I don't know how you could top what they did there. Favorite Star Wars trilogy? For me, it's the original trilogy. I think it's probably that across the board. Safe to say, original trilogy. Yeah. Favorite Marvel movie? We've already answered this question. This is a good one from That Psycho Reviewer. Which live action Joker would win in a fight? Ledger, Nicholson, Joaquin. I'm not acknowledging Leto. I'm not either. I don't like Jared Leto's Joker at all. In a fight, that's tough. I might go Jack Nicholson in a fight.
Yeah, he was in a mob. Like he was a mobster.
Yeah. I don't.
Exactly.
He's definitely. He's definitely busted some faces, so I might go him. But I think easily last place is Joaquin. He was just like
he was like,
very scrawny.
Yeah, and he didn't really fight anybody. He was more of like a. It was a character study. His movie was, as opposed to the other two, which are more like in the Batman world, So, favorite Marvel score. So I say this doesn't have to be for the MCU. So, Jaron, do you have one that comes to mind? It can be MCU
Just
or
all
not
the
MCU.
Spider-Man movies.
Yeah,
all the Spider-Man movies.
It's great.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2 is just the train scene, just like the end when he's getting carried by the people in New York. Dude, that whole score, dude. And every time he comes to save the day, they play that theme, dude. It's just, it will never be topped ever.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go with the most basic answer possible and say Portals from Avengers Endgame, because that sequence will never escape my mind, and every time I rewatch it gives me chills.
Yeah, I might prefer that moment more, and the score is excellent.
But you really can't. It's hard to beat that Danny Elfman Spider-Man score, man. That's so good.
I will say, Endgame, the theme of like the Avengers theme, I think is a little overplayed in Endgame. Like any type of moment in that movie, they play that score. Yeah. Like when they're going to the fuck do they do? To time travel. I'm like blanking so hard.
Time travel. Yeah.
When they go to time travel. Yeah, I'm blanking. I was like blanking on that word. When they do that, they play the score. When they do certain other things, so I think Portals really pays it off. But I think could have done a little bit without it in certain instances, and do like trying a little bit more original, where it's like everyone loves the Avengers theme. Do something a little bit new, and then pay off later in that final Portal sequence. But I think it's a little overplayed, just a smidge. I think it's done a little bit better in Infinity War.
Yeah. This is a good one. This is a good question. Do you guys like Steve's ending in Endgame? Yes. I think we kind of just touched on it. I think it's perfect, one of the best arcs. Yeah. I don't think they could have written any better. I think that Iron Man and Cap had perfect arcs, and they kind of mirrored each other in a way. So yeah, I think we all can say yes. Thoughts on The Greatest Showman? I've actually never seen The Greatest Showman. I know that's kind of crazy. Have you seen it, Colin?
No, I haven't. I don't even know if I really care to, unless I like.
I like that one main song. I think Panic at the Disco did like a a remake of it or whatever. But I haven't seen the movie. Have you seen it, Jaron?
Yeah, I actually saw it in the theaters. I saw
Really?
it twice. The first time, just I went, but then the second time it really wasn't my choice. But it's
Yeah.
one of those stories. It's like kind of a very, very cheesy, basic story, but the songs are actually like super, super catchy. But the story is kind of bad.
Yeah. Again, I'm looking through the chat right now because there's a lot of spam in here. But let me try and find something real quick. Favorite Star Wars trilogy? We've already touched on that. Favorite Sebastian Stan movie that isn't in the Marvel franchise? It has to be I, Tonya. I think he should have gotten
Tonya, yeah.
Yeah. He's such a
Tonya, dude.
he's kind of evil in that movie, dude, with the mustache too. Like, how did he not get an Oscar nom? Like, what was going on there? Another instance of the Academy just tripping. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that was great. Great performance.
Let's see. Andy is in here. How you doing, Andy? Glad to see you in here, man. Phoenix's Joker or Heath Ledger? I honestly, I think that I know this is going to get some controversy, but I think that Joaquin might give the better performance. And I know that he has the whole movie, and I know Heath Ledger is like the Joker. He's like super iconic, but I really think that if you're comparing performances, I think that I might go Joaquin at the moment, which is wild that I'm saying that. But what do you think, Jaron?
I think Joaquin gives a better performance, but I think I like the version of the character more with Ledger. But yeah.
Yeah, Colin?
I kind of have a similar thing as Jaron. It's like, I don't know if he gave a better performance, but certain aspects of it, I think he maybe did.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the Joker is portrayed in The Dark Knight and how Heath Ledger portrayed that character, I prefer that over. I prefer a confident mobster with chaos rather than a sad clown like Joaquin did. And plus, I think Joaquin's a little bit more like gross. And I like his the way he does with his lips.
Yeah, and I like how
Joaquin's a little bit more whiny.
I like how his laugh is like a condition, and how he has the card. I thought that was a super unique way of going about that. I haven't seen a Goofy movie. I've seen like parts of it, but have either of you? Jaron, have you seen a Goofy movie?
I love this movie so much. It's one of those I have to watch like once a year. It's just I've grown up with this movie. I've got such a soft spot for it. I think it's actually like really underrated.
Mm-hmm. Colin, have you seen a Goofy movie?
I have seen a Goofy movie, but I actually prefer Extremely Goofy movie. Extremely Goofy movie.
That one's good too. Yeah,
amazing, dude. It's so good. His Goofy goes to college with his son Max, and it's like got that whole kind of. We've seen that story before, but it's like. And now on a Goofy movie, and it's great.
Yeah. I might watch those. They're probably on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I mean, have a little bit of nostalgia from I remember watching a Goofy movie, part of it on Disney Channel back in the day. So maybe I'll do that if I ever find myself bored.
I love like the waterbed scene when they go in the waterbed. That's super nostalgic for me.
See, I don't even remember that. I need to rewatch.
They just lay in the waterbed. I just remember that scene like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you excited for the Kenobi show? Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's long overdue for Ewan McGregor to make a return to the role in some capacity. I would have loved to see him as like a Force ghost in the sequel trilogy. He's like the best part of the prequels and one of my favorite Star Wars characters. So yeah, I'm pumped for this. Jaron, are you pumped?
I'm pretty excited. Yeah.
Colin, what about you?
Yeah, Deborah Chow, dude. Did some of like the best work on The Mandalorian, and now she's doing like a whole basically 6 hour long movie with the Kenobi. Yeah.
Yep. Favorite movie director? We kind of answered this earlier. It's Tarantino for me. Jaron.
Hitchcock.
Yeah. And Colin.
Fincher.
Yep. Yep. Favorite Marvel actor? We'll just stick in the MCU for this. Outside of the MCU, I'm. That's a really tough question. I mean, Chris Evans is on the come up, but I like Robert Downey Jr. Especially. I think he's hilarious in Tropic Thunder. He's also in like this movie called U.S. Marshals, which is like a sequel to The Fugitive. It's not a very good movie, but he's in that. I think that was like one of his first bigger roles. So I'll go with Robert Downey Jr. Jaron, what about you?
I'd say either him or Chris Evans.
Yeah, and I think we lost Colin for a second here, so I'm gonna remove him for a sec. Max Talks Movie says, Chris, did you hit her? Is it true? Tommy Wiseau, if you didn't get it. I bet he probably wants me to do the impression, so I'll do that real quick.
Do it. Just do it.
Let me have a drink of my Dr. Pepper real quick. And I'll add Colin back. I think Colin's back, and I'll do it.
So
I did not hit
significantly
her.
worse
It's not
quality
true.
now.
It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Colin. That was funny. No, but AJ reacts to why who is funnier, Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy? Whew, they're both pretty funny, man. I'd say Eddie Murphy off the top of my head, though. What about you, Jaron? You got a smile on your face like you like them both.
Yeah, I think I do like them both a lot, but I have to go with Eddie Murphy. I think he's just more nostalgic. I think he's been in more.
You guys are so wrong, dude. Chris Rock is so and
he's so funny. He is
stand up wise. I don't even think it's competition, dude. Chris Rock
stand up, yeah.
Oh my god, dude! The shit he says in his stand up comedy specials is the funniest stuff I've ever heard, dude. And Eddie Murphy, I don't know if I'm a big fan of Eddie Murphy. I like him in Shrek though.
Yeah, I think of him as Donkey, honestly. I really do. And there's this movie called Tower Heist with him in it. Like, it's not a good movie, but I saw it.
It's not a good movie. You're right.
I remember that was like one of the first dates I ever went on. Yeah. It was like, oh, I'm going to the movies with a girl. We saw that movie, and
that cast is kind of loaded though. It had Ben Stiller, Matthew Broderick, Michael Pena, I think's in it. So yeah, that's pretty. It's like an movie, but it's fine. And I see some people saying I've missed your questions. Yeah, there's a ton of activity in the chat today, so I apologize if I haven't gotten to your question. I'll try to do so in the future. Ian says a movie franchise that was so bad it never needed to exist. That's a really good question. I've never hated every movie in a franchise that much, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
So I don't have an answer for that off the top of my head. Do you have one, Colin? An atrocious franchise?
A franchise I just don't like any of the movies. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of any, Ian.
I don't either.
Maybe like the Purge.
Yeah, I've heard that's like kind of just awful.
I actually like the first two.
Oh, really? I haven't seen them, so I can't give a genuine analysis of them. But I've heard that they're like a mixed bag, to say the least. This is a good one. Reagan Cole says, "Who would you cast as the next James Bond?" I do think that I would cast Tom Hiddleston. I think that he would be a really, really good James Bond. I don't know if he's too old for what they're going for. If they want someone to get like 4 to 5 movies with, they might want to go younger. But if not him, maybe Henry Cavill. But he's already Superman, so I don't know. Colin, who would you cast?
It's a tough one, Henry Cavill. I think you mentioned it. Henry Cavill was rumored to play him. Mm-hmm. I like him because I want like a big James Bond that could just like screw people. And I'll go. I think Christian Bale, seeing how he played Batman and or Bruce Wayne, actually more of like that suave nature. I think he'd be pretty good. Yeah, I'll go them two.
Jaron, you have?
I went with Batman and Superman.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Those are good picks. I really haven't thought about it too much to give like a super good answer, but I'd say those picks are pretty good.
Nice. AJ asks, "What is your favorite anti-hero story?" My favorite, the one that I rewatch the most, is Deadpool. Yeah. I really do love Deadpool. I know Colin has a video about Deadpool with Birds of Prey. I don't think he likes Deadpool. Do you, Colin?
It's just I loved it when I first saw it, but it's so. Oh my god, I can't even watch it now. It's so it's so unwatchable. The jokes just don't work.
You're coming at it, man.
Changed.
The jokes just don't work anymore because they're coming, and it's just so meta, and to me it's too much. It's so it was so cool seeing it for the first time because we had never seen anything like it.
Yeah. And
now so many movies try and do it, so it just doesn't. It's just, and then the action is actually really underwhelming. Like they're on a bridge. And I think Birds of Prey does it way better, like the colors and just how it looks and everything. And I think it's I don't even think it's a contest. Birds of Prey, like the how the stunt choreography. I
haven't seen Birds of Prey, by the way.
Everything's like in one take.
You need to. It's really good.
And I think it's I think the reason why I bring up Birds of Prey is because Griffin and I compared the two on my channel where we did Birds of Prey versus Deadpool, and what's funny is I was like, we did the video idea because he said he liked Birds of Prey more than Deadpool, and I was like, oh yeah, I for sure like Deadpool more. And then I rewatched Deadpool, and I was just like, wow, this did not age well whatsoever. Yeah. It's great casting by Ryan Reynolds, but I don't know, man. And then I think Deadpool 2 is actually bad. Like, I actually don't think that's good. I think
Wow.
that's actually bad.
I know
2,
people
do
who
not
like the second one more than the first, and I like the
Yeah, I
second
do
one a
too.
lot. But
I genuinely don't like Deadpool 2. I think Deadpool is overrated, but I think it's still kind of some fun. But Deadpool 2, I genuinely think is bad.
wow. So what would your favorite anti-hero story be?
Oh yeah.
We got on a tangent there. I just realized that, but it's all good.
Yeah. It's not Deadpool. I'll go Joker. I'll go Joker.
Right.
I guess. I don't know.
Jaron, what
Maybe
about you?
Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems. He's a bastard. That whole movie.
Howie Bling. Yeah.
This is how I win. For me, I'd say the Joker probably to me is the best, the most well made. I think it's probably my favorite. Deadpool's close though. I really like it. Birds of Prey is great. Yeah.
Yeah, we can zoom through some of these because they're pretty. The next few questions are pretty short to the point. Favorite sitcom? Well, I don't know. Is The Office technically a sitcom or not? Are we talking like studio? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I'll go The Office then.
Comedies.
I would go.
What about you, Jaron? Friends and Colin?
That 70s Show. I think it's
way
too underrated.
That's a close second. I like that one a lot.
I like that show a lot too.
Have any of you guys seen the original Hills Have Eyes? No, I haven't. I haven't seen any iterations of that movie. Have you guys?
I've seen the remake, not the original.
Okay, cool. What are some of your favorite westerns? He recently picked up the Man with the Name trilogy. Eli, that's a really great trilogy. I have fond memories of watching that growing up. The Magnificent Seven, the original one of my favorites. So I'll go with that off the top of my head. Jaron, what about you?
That's probably my favorite trilogy. I also like. Would you consider Django Unchained? Yeah, that's a western.
Yeah, that's a western. Yeah, that's a great one.
That one too, and No Country for Old Men.
Yes, I love that movie.
Yeah, I literally the three you just mentioned. But I think The Hateful Eight, I would almost consider more of a western than Django.
Tarantino's most underrated film, by the way, in my opinion.
The Hateful Eight is fantastic, and everyone says it's the worst movie.
Good.
I'm like, have you seen Death Proof? Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I think. Don't even. I rewatched that the other night. I will not.
That's my second
slander of that movie.
Oh my gosh!
Dude, oh my god! Don't tell. You can't. Once Upon a Time's better. Hollywood's better than Kill Bill and Glorious Bastards.
Yes.
It's not better than Inglourious Bastards.
Wait, no. Okay.
It's better than The Hateful Eight. It's better than Kill Bill 1 and 2.
I think
for me.
I will. Like, you can. Subjectivity is whatever.
Yeah,
but I think you can. It's hard to argue that it's one of his most flawed movies from a direction perspective and how much fat is on that movie and how many scenes could just be completely cut out. It's 3 hours long. Vision, it should have been Dazed and Confused, like an hour and a half hangout movie in the 70s.
Maybe like 2 hours.
And it was.
But I still think the full runtime does it for me. I love it.
Oh my god, it's so boring.
I think he expressed his vision perfectly. That's exactly what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is so boring, and all these other movies, I probably
each their own.
Death Proof is at least shorter, so maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood might be my least favorite easily.
No, Death Proof. I just watched that recently. No way, it's significantly worse than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think.
True.
But we'll put this to rest.
I
we'll leave that for a whole video.
I just remember watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I've been like, I was shocked how much I didn't like it because I love Tarantino. I binged all his movies leading up to it, like again, and I was just like, dude, so pumped. The cast, the trailers really worked for me, dude. I was like the 60s actually, 69, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot wait for this. And I was like, what is happening? There's nothing happening. Yeah. That's what's happening. Nothing.
Fair, I guess.
It's so boring.
To each their own, as Jaron said. But
I just have hot takes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's good. It makes for real discussion. Robert Correa says, Chris, what are your brief thoughts on The Thing from 1982? On the 100 movies list, I'll probably watch it in October for the first time.
Clearly, he likes it. It's his profile picture.
Yeah. I will watch that movie, Robert. I will. Natasha or Scarlet Witch? Natasha. I love Black Widow.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for a solo movie. Colin?
I'll go Black Widow, but dude, Scarlet Witch, dude, I think she's the most underrated MCU villain or MCU heroes. Vision is I don't even know what she sees in him though. He's the pathetic loser who just gets his ass kicked in every scene.
He's not a great character, yeah.
He's so
a crybaby.
He's so dope in Age of Ultron. You're like, yes, let's go. And then
he picks up Thor's hammer. I'm like, let's go.
He's so annoying in Civil War. Oh my god, I wish they killed him in that movie. I didn't give a shit. I hated him so much in that movie. And then Oh my God!
not a
So
good
Scarlet Witch, the only thing that brings her down is that she's dating Vision, or she was dating Vision, or she likes Vision. She talked to him, whatever. Vision sucks.
Yep,
My
they're
least
getting a
favorite
TV
character.
show. They're getting a TV show. So yeah. Oh, Elliot from Movie Files in here. What's up, man? Glad to see you here. What
up,
film
Elliot?
from Scorsese and Tarantino, not including Kill Bill, would you want to see a sequel to? Jaron, you have any that come to mind?
That come to mind for me. It's hard because I feel like his films, Tarantino's films, they're kind of just like one-off films. You can't really put. I don't know. It's really
I think
hard.
Django, dude. Django going
I agree.
on like a bounty hunter type thing.
Yeah,
Django, really?
I'd agree. For Tarantino, I'd say Django. Yeah, and for
I don't know
Scorsese,
for Scorsese.
literally
Maybe
can't
Inception,
think
but
of
at the
one.
same time, I don't.
Scorsese's type of films, it's just hard for that would warrant a
That's
sequel.
Nolan. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that.
Oh yeah, you said you were thinking Nolan, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Scorsese, I have no answer, honestly.
Raging Bull, maybe seeing a little bit more of like the back half of his life, kind of like Capone did. It's like the end of someone's life, you know. Raging Bull, kind of like a retired boxer.
Yeah, who knows? Ryan O'Toole. Colin, do you know this guy or something? Ryan O'Toole, have you heard?
He's always hitting me up asking me to do podcasts and crap. I'm like, I guess. So.
Oh yeah, Ryan O'Toole and Colin Williams, who's here right now, have the Falling for Film podcast. I was their guest on the recent episode. You should definitely go check it out. It was a fun time. He said, and Ryan asked thoughts on Jason Momoa voicing Frosty the Snowman. I think it's bizarre. I didn't believe the tweet when I saw it.
It's so dopey. I don't get it. What's the point? But I mean, I'm for it, I guess.
We're gonna talk about this on the podcast, so I'll save my thoughts, but they will not be positive. It's maybe the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Maybe.
It's pretty awful, man. Let's see. I'm laughing right now because it's just bad. AJ says, who would win, Superman or Thanos full gauntlet?
Thanos,
unless Thanos would.
I mean, he snaps
him away. Yeah.
If he snaps his fingers, he has a 50-50 chance of dying. Basically, Superman does. So. And then he just snaps it again, and then he has a 100% chance of dying. So,
yeah, I'm gonna skip through some here, guys. Let's see. When their careers come to an end, who will have a bigger and better legacy based on their career thus far? Saoirse Ronan versus Margot Robbie, and Timothy Chalamet versus Lucas Hedges. Ooh. Right now, I would say Margot Robbie and Timothy Chalamet. What about you, Colin?
I'll go. I love Saoirse Ronan. You guys know I'm the biggest Little Women stan there is. I love Little Women. And I think she probably has done the thing with Margot Robbie. She's done the Oscar bait movies, big breakout roles like in Wolf of Wall Street, I, Tonya, but she's been a superhero too. So she's just got that name attached to her. Saoirse Ronan, like not many comic book movie fans saw Little Women. So, so, and then I'll go Timothy Chalamet is just so good looking. It's hard for him not to be famous.
Is he?
Whereas, dude, my girlfriend, I'm his.
Dude looks like a sewer rat.
He's my only competition with my girlfriend. Me and him are neck and neck right now.
That's Sebastian Stan for me.
But she loves him. But Lucas Hedges, I think, is probably a better actor. I would say.
He's got a lot of
his work.
Great.
Have you guys seen Manchester by the Sea?
Yes.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking movie, man.
Oh my God, dude, he's so good. I think he got nominated for that, and I don't think Timothy Chalamet's got nominated for anything. So I'll go Lucas Hedges.
I think Chalamet got nominated for Call Me by Your Name. I could be wrong. I think he was.
I don't think he did. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but I think he's never been nominated. I could be wrong though.
Let's see. I'm gonna skip some here. What's your favorite Marvel movie poster? I know it's Endgame. The purple looks so clean to me. I have that in my room. I love it. I have to go that. It's so nice looking, man.
I love Iron Man 3s.
Oh yeah, which one?
There's good. The one where he's just got like his torn apart suit. That one looks super dope. Yeah. I don't know if that's the number one, but I think that's the one that's coming to mind. I'm trying to like think of all the posters. So can we wait for a second?
I love the Ragnarok one. It's like got yellow and green.
Cool,
yeah.
And he's holding on I like that one a lot too.
That one's dope. I actually like Guardians 2 a lot, even though I can't stand that movie.
Yeah. Guardians 2 is not. It's bottom tier for me. Like bottom 5 MCU for me.
Well, I like the poster.
Yeah, the poster's nice. Are you hyped to see Mighty Thor, Jane Foster in the MCU? Like, I believe this means her as a female Thor, and yeah, if they can do it right and if it serves a purpose for the overall story, then yeah. I didn't hate her in the Thor movies she was in. So, I mean, yeah, I think she's a great actress, so I'm excited. Jaron, what do you think about Jane Foster making her return?
It's hard to say I'm excited, but I guess I'm looking forward to see how her role is going to play a part in the next movie. I just didn't think they did enough with her really for me to care about her too much, but I mean, I'll see once the 4th movie comes out.
Yeah, yeah. Colin, what about you?
I'm not a fan of when they like to do these things where it's like, oh, this is the female version of this character.
Yeah.
Let her be her own thing, dude. She could be an awesome hero that we have in like kind of like a Valkyrie type thing, where she's just a female superhero and get some sort of powers. Or we even saw it with Pepper. She's got an Iron Man suit now, but if she's not Iron Man. Like she just can't be. There's only one Thor, and I hate it when they do that. I know it's comic accurate, but I just think it's really stupid. I think it's really stupid. And I think it's offensive to women, in my opinion. I think it's really extremely sexist to say that the only way that we can care about your character is if you slap a man's name on it, and take kind of their clout to do something original. I think it's extremely sexist, actually.
Yeah. So there you go. I like this question a lot. I have a theory. How would you like to see the X-Men be introduced to the MCU? I think that I heard this somewhere. I think it was on Sean Chandler's podcast. Him and Griffin were talking about how this was a while ago too. The Fantastic Four could be in the 60s, like Reed Richards and everything. And then Hank Pym and like the quantum realm could have something to do with how they get to the modern time. That would be a really great explanation as to how the X-Men are around. If the X-Men were in that universe, I think that would be super clever. So I'll go with that. I think that's a fantastic way to go about it. Colin, do you have any thoughts on the X-Men, how they should be introduced in the MCU?
I think some sort of thing with like a scientist like Hank Pym or Bruce Banner or somebody like that. While they're doing their experimentations, they come across like the serum or something to where it gets accidentally like spread and it creates mutants. So people are born with superpowers rather than like a lot of the powers in the Avengers teams or like scientifically was created, but not really people born with it. But it could be more of like, I don't know if you guys ever saw The Boys on Amazon Prime, but the people that got superpowers, they were given like a serum when they were a baby, and that's how it kind of was. So something like that to where it accidentally spread or something, and then you see like 20 years later, and like you have Wolverine or whatever, and all these different.
Yeah. Jared, do you have any thoughts, or do you agree on one of our opinions?
I agree on your opinion. Like I heard that on the podcast, and I thought I couldn't think of anything else better than that. Really,
I actually like yours better, but I just wanted to pick something.
Yeah. No, I feel you, dude. AJ says Idris Elba as a new Bond. I'm not opposed.
That's
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
does it have to be somebody British?
Or someone who can do a dang good British accent.
I wonder if Sebastian Stan can do a good British accent, because I feel like he could actually do that role good.
Yeah, that would make someone I know pretty happy.
Idris Elba would, I think, would be great.
Yeah.
If you had to switch any two MCU actors with their roles, which ones would you switch? Max, you always ask the tough questions, man. I honestly don't know.
I love how you skip the comment where someone says, "Colin, you're funny as fuck, dude." You're not going to shout me out like that.
No, I'm not going to give you any clout on my. No,
you're not going to give me any clout, but everyone says I'm funny as fuck. So
yeah, there you go.
All right.
Mike Moody, Colin is hilarious. So there you go, Colin. Did any of y'all have an answer for this? Because I can't think of any.
I think they're perfectly cast. I could not think of anything else different. Maybe like Iron Man and Doctor Strange switching just because they're so much alike already.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really can't change anything.
That's it. And then I think you can this is a cop-out answer, but I think you could switch out some of like the love interest or something like that. You know, Rachel McAdams and I don't know, whatever, the Jane Foster or whoever.
You could do that easily,
That would be so easy, but that's a super cop-out answer. But I like the Benedict Cumberbatch and Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. one. I think that's perfect.
You could maybe switch the voice of, I don't know, Josh Brolin and what's the guy that plays Ultron? Robert Spade, something like that. Or no, I'm thinking of Robert California. I don't. James Spader, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's a good one
Nah,
too.
I don't know, but yeah, that's maybe. We're gonna answer a few more questions here, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. Eli Taylor says favorite film scores. So I love The Social Network. That's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I think it's one of the best scores like in recent years. Like I listen to In Motion. That's the name of the track. If like a lot in my car, it's really great. But Man of Steel, if you want to get pumped when you're working out, that's a great one. And
yeah, dude, man, I was gonna say Man of Steel.
yeah, there's so many good ones. I mean, like a lot.
Jurassic Park, dude. Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
Jaws.
I think Joker actually had a really good score.
Oh yeah, it did.
As far as scores last year, I thought 1917 had one of my favorite scores.
Yeah.
I think Little Women had a fantastic score last year too. But 1917 was my big takeaway for that film. Actually, Uncut Gems had a really wacky score.
It was kind of techno. It was kind of techno. Yeah,
it was like techno, but like jungle. Like it was like George of the Jungle kind of vibe to it. But a lot of great scores. But I think Dark Knight, dude, that Hans Zimmer score and Inception. Hans Zimmer is so great.
Yeah. Have any of you guys seen the Evil Dead trilogy? I have not.
No,
I have.
Really? What are your thoughts?
They're very, very campy. Like,
wow,
not meant to be taken seriously. Yeah, the first one's kind of a horror movie. After that, they continue to go completely off the rails. I actually have a lot of fun with them. Nothing like super, super great, but they're fun.
Yeah. I might watch them one day. Who knows? Like a Raimi retrospective might be fun. Nick Gibson asks Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Stallone for me. He's Rocky.
Stallone,
Rocky alone wins that for me. So I'll go with that.
It's a tough one. It's a really tough one. I'll go Vin Diesel. I think he's
that's great.
Oh my gosh.
Sylvester Stallone. I think he's a better actor, probably.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
He got nominated for an Oscar. Two Oscars? Did he? Yes, he got nominated for Rocky and
he got nominated for Rocky
and Creed. Yeah. We'll take these. I think there's two more questions here. Do you think Mysterio is still alive? If so, how do you think it would impact the movie he returns in? I think that they don't know yet. I think they could easily write it so that he's alive. I think that I think he's dead right now. I think he's dead, but that again, he could be alive, very easily be alive because he's a very much a trickster. So, Jaron, do you have any thoughts on Mysterio? Is he dead or alive in your opinion?
I think they purposely showed him not dying so they could make it up as they went along.
Yeah,
I kind of hope he's dead. I think he served his purpose, but if he came back too, I mean, he's really cool, so I'd like to see it, but I think he's dead.
Colin, what about you?
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I think it's just like it depends. I think they left it kind of to be interpreted so that way they can go either way with it. If I had to pick, just because the confused nature of like, we only got a couple more movies maybe in the MCU with Spider-Man, I think he'll probably be dead just to kind of cap it off. But Jake Gyllenhaal is such a good actor; it's kind of hard to not have him try and like stick around.
Yeah, honestly, they kind of left it open. Maybe it's his choice.
And we're frozen, and I'm in the chat by myself.
Oh, really? Well, I think that all right, we lost him. I think that don't you agree that they kind of left it up to Jake Gyllenhaal kind of to make a decision if he wants to come back or not, Jaron?
Yeah, probably, because you got a big name actor like that. It's hard to really hold them for long, but I don't know. It seemed like he had a lot of fun with it, so I think he'd be probably willing to come back if they wanted him to.
Right, and he'd get a fat paycheck too. So like, I don't know why he would turn. I don't know why he turned it down.
The thing that's funny about Gyllenhaal is he turns down big roles all the time. He does like a bunch of indie stuff all the time.
I mean, he was on like the John Mulaney, like the Sack lunch or something like that, some musical, and he does Broadway shows like you said, so he really just does what he wants.
I mean, you know what's funny is James Franco kind of does the same type of thing where he does a lot of smaller films, and I saw the reason why I met James Franco is he did a play. I don't know, he probably getting paid what, $1,000 a week to do that. Like I doubt he was getting paid a lot of money because those budgets are tight. I mean, it's a big Broadway place. I don't know, he might get paid more than that, and he's a big name, but it's funny, it was James Franco in a play. That's how I met him.
Yep. And this is the last question we'll take. It's from Andy, who is on the channel with me frequently. Parasite or Green Book? Colin, you have the floor for this. Parasite or Green Book?
Parasite. I don't think it's even close, honestly.
Yeah, it's Parasite for me.
I actually really like Green Book. I think people are just they're hating on it for I think the wrong reasons. I don't think it's supposed to be a Spike Lee freaking let's get controversial and it's supposed to be a sweet look at bringing races together. It's a little cliche, yes. It's a little I guess just not it's a little bit less mature, I guess. It's not as interesting as maybe these like racial movies that Spike Lee does or whoever. But I think it's still sweet and it has a good message to it. But Parasite thinks it's a better movie.
Yeah, I like Green Book too, but Parasite it's so original, you know. I didn't see the twist coming. But Jaron, what would you pick?
I'd say Parasite is definitely the better film, but I actually went back and rewatched Green Book recently, and I think that it's actually pretty good. Maybe it didn't deserve to win Best Picture, but for what it is, it's good. I know a lot of people crap on it because they're like, it's the white man's perspective of segregation, but I feel like too many people are picking out problems for it. But if you just look at it for what it is, I liked it.
Yeah, a simple story of Tony, yeah.
And I saw someone say, Colin, CEO, disconnecting in the comments. I'm not in my studio, man. I'm sorry. Okay.
That is too funny.
I'm moving, so usually I got the Ethernet plugged in, and it's all good to go. But man, when I'm in my bedroom, dude, it's like a caveman in here, dude. It's like times are tough.
Yeah, man, I feel you. So with that is going to be a wrap for this live Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed. And before we get out of here, I'm going to have my guests plug themselves because it's always something fun to do. So Jaron, what do you have coming up on your channel, and where can everyone find you?
So you can find me on YouTube at Jaron Talks Movies. I post reviews, rankings, all that stuff. This week I'm ranking all the Spider-Man movies. I'm ranking the Back to the Future trilogy, and I'm also ranking all the Batman movies. So I've got quite a few videos coming. You can also find me over at Twitter at Jaron Williams 14 and on Instagram at Jaron Talks Movies as well.
Nice. Colin, what about you? You know, you're not the most famous one here or anything.
Yeah, because I am. Definitely check out my channel. And yeah, so yeah, you can find me on just look at my name, Colin Williams. It's right there. Thanks for putting that there. Just look me up. I'll be doing a bunch of rankings because, like I said earlier in the stream, I don't care that if it's not leading up to any movie. Yeah. So Chris and I will actually both be ranking the Harry Potter movies. Same thing with you, Jaron, dude. I'm gonna be doing Back to the Future, the Indiana Jones, the 4 movies there, Spider-Man, Fast. Have I done Fast and Furious already? No, I haven't. Fast and Furious on my channel. I don't know how I haven't done that. I love Fast and Furious, but do all of them. Doing them all. I'm gonna just do marathons. Pirates of the Caribbean. So look out for me there. I'm really active on social media. Colin Williams Reviews on Instagram, Colin Williams MR on Twitter, and C Williams 991 on Letterboxd. Chris knows I review everything on Letterboxd. Yep. Everything.
I just followed you today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any movie I ever see, it's on Letterboxd. So check me out there.
Yeah, I also have a pretty big Letterboxd thing. I enjoy reviewing everything I miss. If you want to stay up to date with the 100 Movies I Missed project, I post reviews on there every time I watch the movies. You can check me out on Letterboxd at Filmstock. My name, Chris, will pop up. On Twitter at ChrisBuey15 and Instagram at Filmstocked. Yeah, so just be sure to subscribe to these guys if you haven't already. They've got great content. And as for the future of my channel, I've got a Hamilton video coming. I love Hamilton, so I can't wait to talk about that. Cam will probably make an appearance.
Explain that though. What is Hamilton, and like how is it going to be on I know it's a musical.
Yeah.
Broadway.
It's my favorite musical of all time.
But how is it going to be on Disney Plus? Is it going to be like a movie or like what?
So no, they're recording the actual show.
Yeah. Like the original cast, they just recorded it. They do that with Play sometimes, so it's just going to be like
a review
watching
for that this week as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hamilton's where it's at.
Kind of interesting.
So yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
You guys can expect to see that on Jared's channel and my channel. Hamilton's awesome. As well as some collabs, the weekly live streams, all that good stuff. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. If you stuck around at the end, if you're catching the replay, definitely consider hitting the like button and checking out everyone's channel. And until next time, see you guys later.
Bye, guys.